Imagine trying to learn without the internet. No videos, no Google, no Wikipedia, no search engines. Imagine what your life would be like without that. I myself, I'm an online learner, so just like everyone here, I use the internet to learn, and it's where I get my main source of my education, and I'm even doing my schooling here online on the internet. So the purpose of this presentation, informative speech today, is really just to um, inform the listener really on the difference between the modern education and the traditional education that we can see. We can go back in time, back to the 1990s and even farther back, and see how they got their education, how they learned different things, and then look at how we learn now when, we use the internet and how the internet has really changed and reshaped us today. And that's the main idea that we're going to be going over today. So let's transition on in and let's explore some ways that we can learn about the past. We could start off here by looking at this right here, excuse me, this right here is a picture and an image of a computer that they used to use back in the 1990s. I actually studied up on this article and it taught me a lot. It's called A Brief History of Educational Technology by Smith, A. Smith, and it really shows how they really used the technology back then and how it really to them was modern technology. And it was so slow and not even close to what we have compared to now, as you have smartphones and computers and so many different pieces of tools that we can use to get our information. But this to them was the modern technology of the time, and it was very slow. It was very expensive. Not a lot of people were actually able to use it, but it was their form of modern education. And we can look at this here and really just show that we've come a long way when it comes to using internet access and education. And it's really great to see how education has really changed. And I also looked at another article from it's called Rise of Online Education by Johnson and Adams, and that also showed me a lot of other historical articles that they would use that we don't really use today anymore. But let's also transition on to what we now use today and kind of what we're more used to. Going into today, we use many of these different resources that we have, such as Khan Academy, Google Scholar, Wikipedia, and Coursera. They're all on online internet search engines and online internet learning programs that we use to get our education, learning, and schooling. Such as going into Khan Academy, that's a great, very strong website that many kids use nowadays to learn, do different training programs, learning their math and other things. And then Wikipedia is just a strong search engine that you can go on and search up really anything that you want, instead of going back in time reading just a general book or article or, a piece of, transcript or newspaper that you would have to find. You can now have all this at your fingertips on your cell phone in your pocket and really look at so many different information from what a country is to you can learn economics to, if you want to look up any different animal or anything that you're really looking at. A great resource that I use to discover all these modern educational tools would be Open Educational Resources by Li Zhang, which was a great article that I use for myself to learn about a lot of these different topics. But after learning about all these different things nowadays, it really gives me a greater appreciation for what we really use today. But we can all move into our next point, which we can kind of see the challenges of the internet and how it's kind of not been a much of a help, but also a burden in some ways. So as you can see here, I have some images of a couple of students who are kind of struggling and kind of stressed, which kind of shows what the internet does to us today. It makes us very stressed. We have a lot going on. It's not just one thing that we have to focus on. We have, this and all these different things all over that we have to focus on. Another big challenge with the internet is the unequal opportunities that come with it. I know everybody kind of thinks that everybody has internet access, but that's actually not true at all. Many people in rural areas or lower income people do not have access to the internet, and they have to stick to those traditional methods of going to a local library or, going down and getting a book and really reading things how everyone used to. So I think we all should really appreciate what we have that we can really use it. Another big challenge with the internet as well is the articles itself. It's very hard to differentiate, which article is, very true and which article may not be the more true article. I read this article by Taylor, and it really definitely showed me that you may go on one website or a blog and it may have a very credible awesome piece of information that you're looking for your topic. And then you may go to a completely different website and may have some completely different information. And now you're kind of stuck in a little, spot where you have to kind of figure out if this, topic is the correct one, or if this, piece of information is the correct piece of information. So I think that really just shows that going forward, the internet is a great tool and the information is great that we have, but you still have to kind of not fully trust it, and you kind of have to use your own intuition and really understand that you still have to make your own best judgment and understand which information is going to be the best for you, which whatever you're trying to find for yourself, you have to understand that you have to look for it, kind of look deeper and understand that yourself. But now let's wrap it up and let's look at the final end reflection of the whole topic. As you can see here, this is a picture of a classroom, and it kind of just sums up as a whole, what we kind of do in this day and age, how many classrooms, even nowadays, they don't really even use textbooks, paper, or anything like that. They kind of have everybody with a laptop on the computer learning. It definitely shows the modern age nowadays. You know, Coming in and summing it all up, I think that the internet continues to be a great harness for everybody and kind of bring everybody together for one. Like I said, the information is so vast. There's so much information out there that you can use. And I think in the end, it's really a resource. Even though there's many challenges, I think the benefits definitely outweigh the challenges 10 to 1, maybe even 100 to 1, just because of how many uses and how fast everyone has been able to learn. Over the history, it's changed a lot going back, in time to now. But overall, I think the internet has been a great resource, and I think that we'd be a lot better with it than without it. Thank you.